Hello and welcome to One Lap. Today we are putting around the 2020 Ford Escape Hybrid for one lap of our racetrack like we do with every car. The Ford Escape's been updated for 2020 and here we have it in the hybrid trim. It's also in titanium trim, which means it has every option available. It's a really nice car. It's a 4-cylinder Atkins cycle, four-cylinder. It's, I don't know, 200 horsepower, nothing that special. Sounds pretty good, a little agricultural, but sounds okay. Plenty of pep off the line, of course, with all that electric torque. And it's just like a nice CUV. It has great driver assistance tech, so let's see what this family CUV, SAV, SUV does around the track. And now you join me on the starting line in the Ford Escape Hybrid Titanium. This has all the good options on it. I actually really like driving this car. It's got great driver assistance tech, sort of keeps you centered in the lanes, and it's very quiet and refined and very nice and actually handles quite well. We're gonna see what it does on the lap though. So let's get it set up. I'm gonna select sport mode. There's lots of different modes you can choose from. Sport is the sportiest. And then I'm going to select traction control off. So I have to go settings, driver assistance, all the way down to the bottom. It's actually a snappy display. It works like honestly, as fast as like a cell phone is. It's a beautiful display. Happy with that. We're gonna select L, which is like low range. Keep in mind it's a CVT, so the car simulates gear changes by just changing that ratio, you know, to whatever it wants to put it to. But in L, it just keeps the revs up and also gives you more regen off power and a little engine braking off power. So we're gonna left foot brake it, build up the revs on the start, and we're gonna start our lap. And in 3, 2, 1, go. We have little gauges on the screen here that show the electric motor and the internal combustion engine working. Electric motor is doing 28 kilowatt continuous, but I have seen it peak over 100 for quick stabs of the power. And braking a little late, let's throw this thing in. Really nice balance. Ford always tunes their cars with really nice balance, actually. I've been really pleased with their newer vehicles. Hard on the brakes, ABS, stuffing it in. For those that don't know, I was able to be the first one outside of Ford to drive the Mustang Mach-E, the electric Mustang. And that was a really cool experience in the simulator. We spoke to a lot of the vehicle design engineers about how they design these cars, their targets, their goals. A lot of it's virtual vehicle development. If you want to see that, go over to motor1.com. I did a whole feature for them on that. Let's talk about the Escape though. We have a really nice sounding 4-cylinder. It's pretty quiet in the background, but it's nice and throaty enough, and it actually sounds pretty good on the outside as well. The car, you know, it is using that front tire a little more than I'd like. I'd like to have a little more rear rotation, but it's not understeery per se. It's just very neutral. Off power, you can do a little lift off oversteer. The CVT doesn't bug me. The simulation of gear shifts is not a bad thing. Driver assistance tech is good. It's just a really good like daily driver. It's actually one of the best CUVs in its class. That was stability control getting a little overprotective there. Again, you can turn off traction control, but not stability control. You can hear it hitting the brakes there. And we're going wide open down the straight. Here we go. Yeah, just a great, fantastic daily driver. Beautiful glass roof. The titanium version's a nice car. Sounds good, reasonably fast. And cross the line at 86 miles an hour. Great, nice showing by Ford. Yeah, I would say as expected. You know, you would think Ford would make a nice handling product here, and they definitely did. I think what this shows though is, you know, the future for the Escape plug-in hybrid is going to be really good. Again, this is just the hybrid. The PHEV is going to be really cool. So that was a good little lap. And now it's time to take a look back and reveal the lap time. You can see the Escape launches pretty well. With a nice hard power brake, this thing actually gets off the line fairly quickly. Sounds really nice too. The CVT simulates gear shifts at partial throttle, but when you go wide open throttle, it just pegs everything at redline, giving you maximum power. As we approach the corners, you can tell the car's super neutral balanced as well. It does not push too hard in the front. It doesn't oversteer. It really corners quite well. It is definitely one of the best handling CUVs in its category and deserves props from our side to Ford for making such a great handling small crossover. As with all of our lap times, this is not scientific. This isn't our car. We want to give it back in one piece, so we always go about 7 or 8 tenths around the track, never pushing the vehicles as hard as possible. With that said, the Ford Escape Hybrid put in a 2-minute and 4-second lap time. As expected, nothing exciting, nothing extreme, but for the class of vehicle, I'd say definitely one of the better drivers, small SUVs. Love the car, think it was really fun. Make sure you subscribe for more, as we have 2 vehicles every week coming up on One Lap.